Hi, I'm Tanner with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Fredrick, Colorado. Today we have a new inventory unit. This trailer just showed up yesterday. It's a 2026 Cimarron Norstar. This is a 5-horse gooseneck. A couple cool things on this trailer. We went extra wide, extra tall. So we're 7'6" wide, 7'4" tall. We're not full 7'7" height, but again, giving you guys that extra width to fit those bigger horses. If you have those bigger horses, you're gonna have an easier time fitting in here, especially, I'll walk you through why they'll fit better in here as we get in the stall area. We'll start off here at our tack room. This is a dual tack, so we have a tack door on each side of the trailer. This is our most popular tack setup. I like the setup. Our customers seem to like it. Again, it's our most popular just because you have the option to saddle off each side of the trailer. On our driver or passenger side over here, again, 42-inch wide door. We do that 42-inch wide door, so if you have the saddle rack swung out like it is now, saddles on here, you still have the ability to walk past it and get in your tack room. That way, if you had a smaller door, you're not constantly having to swing that in and out as you enter and exit this trailer. You can just keep all your tacks swung out. Saddle racks will operate on a gas piston up close to the roof. Again, you get those big heavy saddles in there, you start to push them in, it's gonna pull those in. When you start pulling them out, it's gonna assist you on pulling those heavy saddles out. Our door over here, we do have our blanket bar here. It's a 4-tier blanket bar mounted to the door. That will also run on a gas piston, again, making that super easy to be able to slide your blankets on. Usually if it's a hard mounted blanket bar, like if it was stuck to the door over there and didn't swivel, you'd get 1 or 2 sets of pads on and then you'd have to fight those pads to get your other ones on. Doing it this way, you can easily slide them on like that and then pinch them over against the door to keep them from going anywhere while you're traveling. Below that, we have our 3-compartment brush tray. Again, 3 compartments. They are each drainable, so again, cold morning like this morning, you have something freeze and then it breaks on you and starts leaking, it's going to contain it to one of those 3 compartments and also allow it to drain out so not all of your stuff in there gets nasty. Fold up step, we're going to do these standard on any of our Norstar models, Lone Star models. Any front tack is going to have this fold up step. It's going to run off that same gas piston. Again, new on our gas pistons, everything is coming with a stainless steel head versus the steel heads, or the plastic coated steel heads that we used to get, because they would get some water in those old ones and kind of start to rust on you guys over time. So we went stainless steel on these, so you shouldn't have that problem anymore. Again, that fold-up step is going to make that step up into this trailer a lot easier. Something we try to do when we're building all of our trailers for you guys, whether it's an inventory trailer like this or a custom order, try to make these as user-friendly as possible. In our tack room, our floor is this gray rubber diamond tread brake. This is a new option we started doing maybe a year and a half ago. Love this option. Usually with carpet, you get stains and it's hard to clean. You go the black rubber and it's great, but it's kind of tacky. Stuff will kind of stick to it, dirt more so in the summer months. Going this gray rubber, it's super easy. Gives you the benefit of that rubber being easy to clean, but it's not as tacky. You can just sweep this out with the broom. I mean, this is a super cool product and we can do this anywhere. If you want to do a tack wall with it, you know, a drop wall deck, we can do this flooring anywhere. It's a super cool product. Tack room itself, we do have carpeted gooseneck deck, drop wall. We opted for the extra deep boot box in this. So this is an 18-inch boot box with your lid. And fully carpeted in there. We do have a hose for the water tank over here in the corner. I'll show you guys in a second. And great place to store stuff, keep stuff organized, but also gives you a good step up into your gooseneck if you're storing stuff up here, if you maybe got a mattress in your weekend end out of here. Cool thing we do in all of our trailers is we are gonna pre-frame for an AC. So the framing is already in here, pre-cut for you guys to cut a hole in the roof, put an AC in here and wire it in. Again, saving you guys that extra money down the road, that if you do wanna drop an AC in here, you're not having to go and pay someone to reframe your roof to be able to fit the AC. It is just pre-framed. Again, you're still going to pay for the AC install itself, but you're not having to pay for them to come add this heavy-duty framing and roof bows in here as well. Behind me, again, a good look at this saddle rack as it's swung in. Again, it's going to be the same concept on the outside. We'll go over that side when we get out there. But we do have that heavy-duty piston mounted to a roof bow. Again, helping you, swing that out and swing in, especially when you get those big, heavy saddles on there. It's really going to assist you guys swinging that in and out. Cool thing about these saddle racks is, it's probably better to show you guys in this one when we get over here, is they're fully modular. Again, we're 3 tiers right here. We can fully adjust these how we want. We can add more if we want to add more. We can take them out if we only want a couple on each one. Again, they're fully modular, fully adjustable, and really cool product. Behind that in that dead corner, we do have our 25-gallon quart of water tank. Again, that hose I showed you guys, we'll go to that. Easily fill buckets out your door, stuff like that for your horses, your dogs. Stuff like that. It's always important, especially when we get in these winter months. I mean, fairgrounds are going to shut their water off. Everywhere's going to have non-potable water. It's going to be winterized and treated. It's always important, I think, to always have fresh water with you guys in case of emergencies, or, you always have water with you. Summer months, it's not as important because, again, you can get water places. I noticed with my horses, they only like to drink my home water most of the time. So I always, fill this up with some home water, maybe put some Gatorade in there from electrolytes, and then, again, they'll be a little more comfortable drinking that because it smells familiar to them. On our partition wall, set of bridle hooks high, set low, again, fully carpeted on our partition wall. We like to at least carpet behind where our bridles are gonna hang. But with this being a dual setup, I mean, most of our wall is bridle hooks anyway, so we opted for the full carpet. Again, that's really gonna help keep your bridles in nice shape, help keep the bridles from scraping up the paint on the trailer. It's also gonna really deaden that noise for the horses on the backside of that wall. Again, horses, the quieter you can keep it for them, the better they're gonna haul and not be stressed while you're traveling. Again, that carpet's gonna really deaden that noise for them, so they're gonna haul a little easier for you guys. Keep working our way down the horse side of this 5-horse. Again, it's 5-horse, you're gonna have 5 windows on this hip side. They are gonna be these oversized sliding types, and that's just how we chose to order this. We can do a couple different things. We can alternate these into drops, we can do full drops, we can do them sliding like this. Again, we have a ton of options when we're ordering this trailer. I like this setup because again, you get to move a ton of air. You can easily close them up, not have to deal with the drop windows. Up top, you can see we do have a hay rack mounted to this trailer. Again, being able to take that hay with you. Again, it's a 5-horse. The only other option we can do for hauling hay on a trailer like this is to add like a hay room, make the trailer longer. And you're already pretty long on a 5-horse just using trailer, so we didn't want to opt for that extra length for you guys. So again, throwing that hay rack up there gives you that extra storage if you guys need it without having to add a ton of extra length to this trailer. We are 7.6 wide, so again, you're not going to get a full width running board. You are going to get just this little trim piece of running board. You can still stand on there and access your windows. Again, it's not as easy to stand on because it's not that full width. We are on 2 7,000-pound Dexter rubber torsion axles. These are aluminum spoke wheels. Again, these are going to be matching to the spare on this trailer, which I'll show you guys when we get up front. You can always go in, we can add air ride to this trailer. The cool thing about these Dexter rubber torsions is they're going to move with the trailer. So again, it's not like your old school spring axle, everything's bouncing. They're going to move and flex as you turn, as you hit bumps. They're a great axle. They're probably the most popular axle out there for trailers right now. Probably the most popular axle out there for trailers over the past 15, 20 years. So we'll get here to our load side of this trailer. Again, we're 50-50 split on the 7.6 wide. We do have a ramp over our rear doors. So when you close these doors, this ramp will fold over the doors and latch. But again, nice to throw a little extra on this trailer. Again, we're extra wide, extra tall, so we're assuming someone might come in and want this trailer. It's gonna have a little bit bigger horses. Maybe those bigger horses, I've noticed sometimes with warm bloods, bigger horses, they're used to loading on a ramp versus step in. So it's great to have this ramp. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So we work our way into this trailer. Pretty standard Cimarron stuff in here. We have our rubber mats over our 4-inch center aluminum floor. 4 dividers, we opted to put 2 studs in here. Again, bigger trailer. We kind of want to give you guys more option than just 1 stud stall. So you're going to have 2 stud dividers, both padded. And then again, just your partial type back there padded as well. In the Norstar model, again, Cimarron has a few different models. Their Norstar model is their horse trailer model. You are getting a fully insulated package. So you're getting lined and insulated walls. Any Cimarron you order is getting their 1-piece insulated roof. Granted, it will split into 2 pieces. Anything over 42 feet, they can't get a roof sheet in that length, so they are gonna split it at either your tack wall or your gooseneck drop wall. But again, you are getting a 1-piece roof for anything under 42 feet. Move up here, we have an escape door setup in this trailer. The cool thing I like about Cimarron's escape doors is they go ahead and they fit you a drop window in there. Again, it's not the full-size drop window, but it gives you enough drop window that you're able to feed in here. You can hang a hay bag, you can check on it, you can really move some air for these horses. I like these escape door setups. I might have it locked on the outside. I do have it locked on the outside. I like the escape door setups because it's super easy to be able to load stuff in the stud stall, especially when you have it go all the way to the ground. You can easily stack hay in here. Talked a little bit about earlier about getting as much storage as possible. We have the hay rack up top. Again, we don't want to make this trailer super long. If you're hauling 5, you have the hay rack. If you're hauling 4, you have this whole front stall to be able to stack hay in. You can stack grain, totes, stuff like that, easily access from the escape door. I'll show you how that works when we get to kind of the outside of the trailer and I can get that guy unlocked. But we do have a chest bar for this setup. Again, any door that flexes out on a trailer. So again, if a horse leaned on this, they could potentially flex that door out. We like to put something so they're leaning against the bar, not the door itself. Same thing if you do a pass-through door, which this trailer doesn't have. We always put it swinging the opposite way, so if a horse leans on it, that's sealing tighter than actually opening up. So work our way down. We are 2-way roof vented through the whole trailer, so you can have 1 vent for each stall. It means we'll operate 1 of 2 ways. You can open them to pull air in or pull air out. I like to open a couple to pull it in and then a couple out, so it's just getting clean air flowing over their backs the whole way, keeping them cooled off, slicked off. Here on our hip wall, we do have LED lighting throughout. Again, these Opti brights. We really probably don't need 5 in this trailer, but it's a really nice trailer. We wanted to dress it up a little bit. 3 would have probably been plenty, but we do have an Opti bright for each one of these 5 stalls. Again, inside look at those sliding types. We do put jail bars on there to kind of help deflect those tail heads a little bit. And then down low, we do have our latches for our dividers. Something I want to point out on your dividers is everything on a Cimarron trailer is going to try and be metal or plastic. So you'll notice your divider latch is plastic, divider itself is metal. That's going to wear down a lot better than it would if it was metal on metal. Metal on metal tends to grind and shave down over time. These will start to sag and get a little more loud as they vibrate. Going metal on plastic allows it to really deaden that noise and add to the life of that latch. Again, everything on this trailer is going to try and be metal on plastic. All of their hinges are going to have a plastic shim in the hinge itself. So again, it's not the metal twisting, it's the metal on plastic twisting. Everything is going to be set up to be as quiet as possible for your horses. Cimarron really goes that extra mile on the small things. I mean, the best example of that would be their hinges, because again, super small thing you don't really think of on a trailer, which I'll show you guys here, is all the hinges on a Cimarron are not only embedded with the plastic shim inside there, so it's not metal on metal, but they're also go the extra mile and give you guys grease certs on there, so you're not having to spray WD-40 in there. If you get a squeaky door, you're not having to heat it and move it. You easily just throw a grease gun on there, right on that grease cert, grease your latches up. And again, not every, or I'd say the majority of trailer companies don't consider that. And again, it seems like something really small, but if they focus on the small things on these trailers, you can imagine how quality the big things are. Over here on our head side, we do have those big Cimarron drop windows. They're 3-system windows, so you're gonna have your sliding type in the middle that you can run. If you just wanted a little air, today if I was traveling, I didn't want my horses to get cold and snowy, I would just open all those little sliding types to get a little air moving, but again, not the full effect of the big windows. You have your drop jail bars, so again, I really like this because your horses can see out. They're gonna haul better if they have a little more awareness of what's going on around them. I like them because they can easily drop out of the way. You can feed from the outside of the trailer, you can tie and untie. All my horses at home, when you go to offload them, they tend to just come out as soon as the back door opens or the divider opens. If they're tied up, they can pull back and rear back and kind of spook themselves. I like to come and untie them from the outside and just let that lead rope drop. That way when I open a divider, they can just back to me and I can snag that lead rope. Or of course, the third system is you can just run these fully closed or fully closed like so. If you're a really cold morning, you really want to build some heat up in that trailer. Talked about the escape door on the inside a little bit. Here's a good look on the outside. So again, chest bar to keep them from leaning on that. We threw a fold-up step on this escape door. That's something we may or may not do depending on the trailer, but again, we felt in the 5-horse. If you're hauling 4, we wanted you guys to have easy access to this front stall if you're using it for storage, and have an easy step to get up in there as well. Again, little drop window in that escape door itself. Being able to get that first stall horse some air while you're traveling. Also give you guys the ability to tie and untie from the outside as well. Good driver's side look, again, dual tack. Husband and wife combos, I mean, people love this no matter what, but usually it's the husband and wife that come in here and they get to keep all their stuff separate. They're happy about it. Each one of them can saddle on each side of the trailer. If someone's not organized, they can keep all their stuff on one side. The organized person can keep it on the other side. It just really works well. I like it because hot summer months, whatever side's in the shade, you can easily just saddle off that side without having to walk around the whole trailer. But again, mirror image that other side, swing out saddle rack on that gas piston. Fold up step. You ever swing out blanket bars, window built into the door, and then again, that 3-compartment brush tray. Super cool setup. This is our most popular setup by far, whether it's a 3, 4, 5, 6-horse. Dual tack is our most popular setup by far. Get up here to kind of our hardware setup on the operational side of this trailer. You have an electric over hydraulic jack on this trailer. All of our Cimarrons we are going to order with an overrideable jack. So again, you end up dead batteries, a situation like that. You can always hand crank this up or hand crank it down. You're not stranded. With that hydraulic jack, we will go ahead and throw a battery package on here. So you have our battery to power that jack. We have a battery cutoff switch to be able to kill all power to the trailer so your batteries aren't dying. If you just remember to shut that off when you're not using your trailer, then it's going to kill all power to that trailer and not allow it to drain off the battery. Started including red arc systems on these. Basically what it's going to do is going to kind of show you where your power is coming from if you're getting power from your truck to charge this. I like it because it really turns your truck into more of a rapid charger than a trickle charger. Usually when you're plugged in hauling, you're always getting some sort of trickle to charge this battery, but this goes ahead and converts that and lets it, rapid charge a little more. I like it because again, if you end up with a dead battery, go ahead and plug it into your truck and it's going to allow you to operate this way quicker than it would be if you didn't have this. Usually if you're not having a red arc system, you need to trickle charge that battery. You're plugging it into your truck and leaving it plugged in for like 45 minutes to be able to get enough power to run your jack. With this, you're going to be able to do it a lot quicker. Next to that, we do have your matching spare wheel and tire to the rest of the ones on the ground. So again, you get a flat, you get a blowout. You can easily swap this over. You're not on a steel wheel, you're not on a mismatched tire. Everything is matching on this trailer. Up here on our nose, we have our 2 5/16 B&W coupler, our breakaway cable, safety chains, and then our 7-pin rim back there. Cimarron started doing all their user manuals as well on a QR code versus actually having you guys a book. That way it's always with the trailer itself. You know, if you have the book in your truck, if someone else took it, they still have the user manual. They can send updates to this user manual if they need to. So again, really cool that it's always just with the trailer now. And again, it's a 2026 Cimarron Norstar. This is a 5-horse gooseneck with that dual tack setup. Extra wide, extra tall. This is a really slick trailer. It should fit somebody really well. If you're interested in this trailer,